Hello and welcome to Ross's Movie Reviews again. Glad you could join me again. Today we're going to be doing Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. And after a very, 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 very good entry in the second one, The Wrath of Khan, which was amazing and brilliant and deserved an Academy Award for its special effects. I don't remember whether it got one or not, but it certainly deserved it, yes. We have Star Trek, The Search for Spock. And the cool thing about this one, it was actually directed by one of them. It was directed by Leonard Nimoy, who at the time said, look, he was thinking about leaving the movie series, as Star Trek altogether, but he said, look, I'll come back on one condition: if I can have some kind of producing or directional value to this movie. So Paramount said, well, and then Leonard Nimoy said, yes, you can produce it. Leonard Nimoy said, well, what if I direct it? They said, okay, why not? And they agreed to let him direct this movie, which I think, it's a good start for him. I really do. I think Leonard Nimoy is a fantastic director, as you will see in my next entry with Star Trek 4, which is his crowning achievement. In this movie, alright, you were left off in the last movie where Spock had died from saving the ship. He left his soul with Bones McCoy, and he left his soul with him, and it ended very somberly, and it left us with a question of, well, what's going to happen with Spock? What if he can come back to life? Well, this movie pretty much answers all those questions. Because what this movie is basically about is bringing Spock back if they can. And it's a great movie. It's a good movie. I don't mind it. A lot of people thought it was it was dull, it was boring, I don't mind it. I don't mind this entry. I think it's a good movie. It's fun to watch. And the characteristics of Leonard Nimoy shows in this because of the humor in it, and also the somber tone of this. I mean, this is probably the most depressing Star Trek movie, of the whole entire series. You're not going to get any Star Trek movie much more depressing than this. And it's a good movie by that fact. It doesn't just show a one-sided Star Trek where you just have a happy tone to it, joking around and stuff like that. It shows a serious side to Star Trek that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know the serious side of Star Trek. It can be very serious and emotional, and it can have emotional values like that. I think you get a stronger value of the relationship between Captain Kirk and Spock in this. He really, really is missing him in this, and he really wants him back. That is why he is willing to go to extremes to get him back. Then that he knows that his soul is in Bones, you know, and he steals a ship, and he steals the Enterprise, and he risks everything to get him back, which, you know, why not? I mean, that's a lot of what friendships are about anyways, risking everything to have, you know, a one-in-a-million friendship. I think this movie shows that, is that, you know, a friendship, and even if you can't bring that person back to life, their friendship and their soul and their love will never die. And I think that's what some of what this movie shows. And I think that Leonard Nimoy wanted to strengthen that. He wanted to make that relevant in this Star Trek. He wanted to show the effects of the crew when they're missing one of their best friends and one of their greatest, greatest Starfleet officers. And I think another thing that this movie shows also is, youth. I think that this movie shows it in a way that when you see Spock, he's just a child in this. Because of the Genesis, they left him on the Genesis planet, and they left him there, and the planet is reversing themselves. Now, of course, the stupid Klingons, they don't know that. They think that Genesis is perfectly fine, and they want it for themselves. But no, the planet that was made from Genesis is dying. But it just so happens that Spock is on this planet. And when we see him in his younger state. And we see the trials and the tribulations that he has to go through as a Vulcan. And that is another great thing from this movie, is just that you get to see the unity. Now, this movie was low budget. It didn't have much of a budget. You can tell, because you could tell the movie's made on a set, most of it. In fact, all of it's made on a set. They didn't really give Leonard Nimoy room to move, because they really didn't even want to make a third one, so why would they want to put a big old budget out for them? But when they saw that Star Trek 3 made money, then they decide, well, let's go full force and let's put a big budget on the next one, in which they did. And, to me, this is a good movie. It's a good entry, and I think that when they bring Spock back to life at the end, it's a very peaceful and it's a very happy ending. It may be a depressing ending to me, but it's a very peaceful and a very happy ending, And I know that a lot of Star Trek fans think that the ending is very, I don't know, it's very cheesily done. I don't think it is. I think it's a very respectful ending to this. And because they did it. They brought him back. They did what they were set out to do. And the reason why I think this is a good entry is because it, like I said, it's an emotional Star Trek. It shows a different side of Star Trek that you really don't normally know. Now I'm going to cut these reviews down to only one from now on. So all in all, this movie is good. It's a very good and well done movie. It's grand, it's adventurous, and it's very, very good. Join me for the next entry in Star Trek 4, which we have in a completely 360, and we get a full-force, big-budget Star Trek. And this is when they show the signs of Star Trek having a bit more life to it. As we talk about the most beloved Star Trek of them all, and the fourth one. Thank you for listening to me and watching my reviews. Thank you.